Hello and welcome to Computer Tech and More. Today I'm going to talk about the GamersNexus drink mat and their coaster pack. So this is an open box and review video. So I did purchase these items with my own money, as I have done with everything. And this is the GamersNexus bar runner. And first and foremost, this is feeling like a really good rubber. I mean, this is the back. It's gonna have a pretty good surface on it. All the colors are very nice looking. I'm gonna bring it up to the camera. Hopefully my autofocus does a good job. And it has a CPU socket and your power plugs and PCI Express slots. Actually, those might be styled after RAM. PCI Express, your VRMs, and everything about it looks really nice. So you would use this to put your drinks on to let them dry. Obviously, after your cups are dry, you need to dump it out because the liquid is going to get into the bottom and you don't want this to turn all yucky. Or you can use it as a display item. And I also got the coaster pack. Let's open it up. So the bar runner just came in this plastic sleeve in the box, and these coasters came in this cardboard box, and they're wrapped in this tissue paper, and that means it's a very green item. So everything about it will be decomposable except for potentially this plastic sheet. I know GN cares a lot about doing green stuff, so that's why I commented about that. So the first coaster looks like a CPU socket, and it looks like it has some VRMs and other items around the CPU. Let's see, the second one, I don't know what they are, maybe VRMs and resistors and that sort of thing. Got one styled after a CPU fan. And this one's probably a GPU. So my personal favorites, looking at them, are, of these four, are going to be these three, and then if I were to pick two, it'd be these two. Just visually, the way they look, I think it's kind of above and beyond the other two, but they're all very cool. If Gene makes more, I don't know if I'm gonna buy more, but I certainly could have needed a couple coasters, so I wanted to support them and do a little review about it. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna check out the bar runner with a couple different types of cups I have. So first, a standard beer cup, a stemless champagne flute, wine glass, and sort of a standard water cup. So we're gonna just kind of place it on there and see how it does. So I'm sorry that that's kind of at the edge of my screen, but I mean, it's on carpet right now, so this is not the most stable surface. I can tell you, kind of just moving it around, it's sitting perfectly. Of course, the bar runner, you could either use to hold your drinks or as a drying surface. So as a drying surface, it's completely all set. So wine flute, this one's a bit more narrow than some of the other cups. And it's nice and stable on there, flipping it over. And again, I'm recording on carpet. So the fact that it's as stable as it is pretty good. All right, let's try a regular cup. So since the more narrow one worked well, a wider cup really ought to do well. So this is just me knocking the cup. It's actually lifting off. but that kind of demonstrates just how well GamersNexus actually made sure that everything was nice and level, so that there would be a good surface for everything to rest on. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Sorry for any shaking. So yeah, it's a very good size and will do a great job holding cups, letting them dry, or to use for your home bar to put out drinks for yourself or your guests. All right, let's switch it up and take a look at the coasters. All right, to save time, I'm going to do coasters kind of two at a time. So the first two are this kind of VRM circuit board type one, and the CPU. And again, these are all rubberized, so you can see the rubber on the back, and very matte, clean look on the front. Same sort of thing for the CPU socket. All right, what should we start with? Let's do the beer cup. So again, I'm filming on a carpet on my floor, so you know it's going to be squishier. So if it can be stable on that squishy surface, it's going to do well on your countertop. And as I'm bringing the cup around to all the various spots, it's nice and stable. And same with the circuit board. GamersNexus, when they were presented these first, must have been almost a year ago now, made a big point about how they had made everything, all the heights of all the details on it, so that no matter where you put your cup on, it'd be nice and stable. And I have to say, yes, they did an excellent job. So this wine flute is actually going to be the most unstable. So if everything works well for this, then it'll do well for any cup that you have. So I will say that I can find spots where it's like the CPU one in particular. So between this little black knob, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, and this one, so it's just got a little bit more gaps in it. So a very thin cup will be a little bit more unstable, but I have to really try in order to do something like that. So I'm going to call that a non-issue. So I guess, oops, that's just something to be aware of on the CPU one in particular, where it has these larger gaps, a very thin cup, smaller base like this wine flute will have more of an issue. All right, you got the GPU and the CPU fan. So again, I'm going to start off with the beer cup, even though we're not, and then I'll jump to the worst case scenario, which is the wine flute. So yeah, pretty much no matter where you put it on, it's got a nice stable surface. And I mean, here it is sitting on the floor. So I mean, if I place it on there really weird like that, so it's sort of sitting half off the fan, then it's a little bit more unstable, but it came back. So if you place it on here anyway normally, like a normal person would, it is all set. All right, let's jump to the worst case, which is the wine flute again. So this one has a lot more room. Well, there's a little bit of a weak spot. So right here between these two yellow pegs and that, you can place it so it's not quite sitting on there, but setting it down, it's not going to tip over. It'll knock over more easily, but it won't just tip over. All right, how about the fan? Yeah, there we go. So because it's so thin, it can actually sit basically on one of the blades and just be more tipsy-toppy. But again, if you're just placing it on there like a normal person would, it is perfectly fine. Yes, and a normal person won't drop their cup on these. With regard to that, because it's a rubberized surface, it will have a little bit of spring and bounce to it, or maybe not bounce, but a little bit of absorption to it. So realistically, a person could set down their cups pretty hard on these as opposed to a plastic one, and it would be fine. So, conclusion time. What do I think about the GamersNexus Bar Runner and the coaster pack? I think GamersNexus did an excellent job creating this bar mat and these coasters. They are well made, they look excellent, very high quality, and they look like the components that they're supposed to represent. Now, everybody may have their own opinion as to which item they like the best. Personally, I like the CPU, and I think the fan is real interesting. They're my two favorites. The Bar Runner, I think, is beyond excellent. It just looks cool. It even has a little space for your coin battery that goes on a motherboard. And it just represents the quality that they are best known for. I hope that they keep up the excellent work, and I'd love to, can't wait to see more of these coasters in the future. Now, with regard to price, I do think that these are a little bit expensive, but I purchased them at a time when GamersNexus was not doing a sale, but their proceeds go to charity. I forget which one, and I just really support what they do and trying to go green, get companies to behave themselves. But if you're just buying for the product and you're a PC gamer who also enjoys a cold beverage, then you really can't go wrong. And that's it for this review. I do have other product reviews from other tech tubers coming up, and I hope you stay tuned for my review of their products. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video if you like it, and if you have comments on how I can improve my videos, I'm always looking for feedback. Anyway, have a great day. Goodbye.